All right, let's dive into something that sounds like it's straight out of a sci-fi movie, but I promise you it's happening right now. We're talking about Neuralink's incredible new plan to let people type just by thinking. Yeah, this goes way beyond moving a cursor with your mind. This is about translating your thoughts directly into words.
I mean, really think about that for a second. What if you could type with your mind? No keyboard, no clunky voice to text, just your ideas appearing on a screen instantly. It sounds like a far-off dream, but this is exactly the future Neuralink is building as we speak.
And this quote from Neuralink's president DJ Seo just cuts right to the chase. If you're imagining saying something, we would be able to pick that up. See, this isn't just about reading the brain signals for moving your hand. The goal here is to pick up on the signals for imagined speech. It's a total game changer.
So how exactly are they going to pull this off? Well, it all kicks off with a brand new and very specific clinical trial.
And look, this is not just some idea they're floating around. The company has officially gotten the green light from the FDA for the study, which is a huge deal. Starting this October, they're going to be focusing specifically on helping people with speech impairments, giving them a way to communicate just by thinking. This is a massive new chapter for their tech.
And this new trial, well, it's not happening in a vacuum. It's actually part of a much bigger, much faster global expansion of everything Neuralink is doing. 12. That's the number. That's how many patients around the world now have a Neuralink implant. Now, to give you some perspective, just a few months ago in February, that number was only 3, so we're talking about a 4-fold increase in a super short amount of time. The pace is just incredible.
And what about real-world usage? Get this. Those 12 people have already logged over 15,000 hours with the device. This isn't just some lab test. This is people living their lives with this technology, day in and day out, which is generating an unbelievable amount of data.
So what are these folks actually doing with this tech? Well, they're doing some seriously practical stuff, like controlling computers, operating robotic arms, and using all sorts of communication tools. And the growth isn't just about the number of patients, it's about geography too. The company's very first international trial is now running in Canada with 2 patients taking part. Okay, but with this kind of lightning-fast, high-profile expansion, especially into a public healthcare system like Canada's, you know what's coming next, right? Intense scrutiny and some really, really tough ethical questions. And yeah, this whole thing has kicked off a pretty fierce debate. On one side, you have doctors like Raghu Venugopal, who are adamant, saying that collaborating with Elon Musk is just ethically wrong. But then on the other side, you have bioethicists like Carrie Bowman, who make the point that, hey, for patients who have almost no other options, the potential benefits here could be absolutely life-changing. It's a tough one. And it's not just the ethical questions putting on the pressure. You have to remember, Neuralink is not the only player in this game, not by a long shot. They're operating in a field that's getting more and more crowded. The competition is seriously heating up. You've got companies like Precision Neuroscience with their own FDA-cleared wireless tech. And then there's Synchron, which is fascinating. They're taking a totally different, less invasive approach through the blood vessels. Oh, and they happen to be backed by Bill Gates and Jeff Bezos. So yeah, the race is definitely on. But you know, maybe the most mind-bending part of this whole story isn't the tech or the competition. It's Neuralink's long-term vision, which goes way, way beyond just helping patients. Just take a look at this roadmap. Right now, 2025, we're here. Medical trials, 12 patients. But look ahead to 2030. The goal? Implants in healthy individuals. That's the moment this thing pivots from a medical device to a consumer product. And then, just 1 year later, the goal is to be doing 20,000 of these every single year. Seriously, let that number sink in. The leap from 12 patients today to a goal of 20,000 implants a year is, well, it's staggering. We're talking about scaling up on a level that's pretty hard to even wrap your head around. So you gotta ask, why? Why the massive push into healthy people? Well, here it is. This is the end game. The company's ultimate vision is to let humans talk directly with artificial intelligence at the speed of thought. This is about completely rewriting the rules of how we interact with computers. And that brings us right to the final, massive question this technology forces all of us to ask. When our thoughts can become text messages, what does that really mean for us, for our privacy, our identity, for what it even means to be human in the first place? That's the question we're all going to have to figure out. Thanks for joining me.